And good evening, folks. Welcome back to UndercoverET. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you all had a lovely evening last night. If you're in the UK, please wrap up warm. We've got snow coming tonight, guys. From midnight until midday tomorrow. We're on a yellow warning here in the southwest. All the way up north, if you're in Scotland, you're going to start seeing it now-ish, I guess. And that wind, that northerly wind, is going to start blowing it across the coastal lines of the UK. And some of it's going to spill over Wales and over to the southwest as well, where I am. So look, guys, wrap up warm. I'm quite happy about it because I need a snow day where I can get some filming done in the snow. I will go live tomorrow if the weather permits and if the signal permits. I will go live and try and capture a snow UAP, but who knows, guys. I've also got to have Dr. Shipe on the channel tomorrow. I'm going to do an interview with him and just give you guys an update on what's to come this year. And guys, I've got an amazing video for you today. MH370 are trying to look for this craft and try and find remains of this craft. That really is challenging what a few people are saying happened to that aeroplane. So Malaysian flight MH370, we're going to look into what their investigations will entail, and then I'll ask you for your opinions, of course, whether it got taken by ET craft or a non-human intelligence, or whether you think that they are going to find remains at some stage. Who knows, guys? It must be there. If it's there, there will be remains. If it's not crashed, we're not going to find nothing. You can't drop a pin in a haystack and never find the pin. Eventually, it will get found, right? So that's the way we look at it. That's the way I'm looking at it. Big arse C, so it may just take a bit of time. Also, guys, I mentioned this on the channel a little while back. Flying car. So it was on News Nation. The production of a flying car. I thought it would never happen. Apparently now it's being manufactured and produced. So I'll go over the clip. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments. But yeah, I think it's really, really cool that they have brought out. They're now bringing out flying cars when we are already analysing what I call flying boats, you know, Dragon, UAP, whatever. They're now bringing out an actual size car that can fly. Imagine that. So yeah, loads to talk about, guys. As always, like and subscribe to the channel. We do need your support. Support the public's evidence. Support disclosure. Let's get into it. Okay, we're going to start off with CNN, and this is regarding MH370 and their new plans to try and track the remains of this plane. Let's have a look.
Happening now, a new search for a missing MH370 is now underway. More than a decade after the Boeing 777 jumbo jet vanished from radar shortly after takeoff in Kuala Lumpur, the Texas-based marine robotics firm Ocean Infinity is now resuming its efforts to locate the plane. This will be the group's third attempt at searching for wreckage from MH370. Joining us now is oceanographer David Gallo. He's also the former director of the special projects at the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution. David, thanks so much for joining us. You're someone who has personally taken part in these kinds of expeditions over the years that look for wreckage on the sea floor. How does a search, first of all, like this typically begin?
Well, it begins by knowing, well, you want to know as much as you can about what happened, meaning where on the ocean does X mark the spot? Because the ocean's very difficult. We've explored very little of it. It's not easy to find something there. And I always think that you need the right team, you need the right instruments, and then you need the right technique. So it's like an orchestra, musicians, instruments, and then the music. And then with that, you've got a pretty good chance of finding a needle in a haystack. But the trick here is to find out, are you in the right haystack? Is this the right haystack to be looking in? So that's how it begins, by putting that team together, picking the right instruments, and it's a whole lot easier if you know where to begin looking.
How does a group like Ocean Infinity narrow down its search area? What is that process like? Since the accident happened, the tragedy, there have been different groups working with some satellite information, trying to pinpoint an area where the plane might be, the wreckage might be. And I'm sure they've looked at all of that, gone over it and over it, and they haven't disclosed any more information, anything about what new information they have. But I'm sure they've looked over it very carefully, and they're confident enough to put a team out to sea for a month or so to look in that area.
So there we have it. They obviously have managed to break down where this potential crash site might be, and so they are putting their money where their mouths are, and they're trying to put bodies into that area, see if they can locate MH370. Now, guys, the way I would look at this is, when was it last seen on radar? And I know that it did a few different maneuvers, and then it blinked off radar, then it came back, I believe. It must be a tough task, okay, and there's a lot of area to cover. So very, very difficult, but at the same time, they've got to be looking at where the plane was last seen on radar and go from there. And maybe they've now narrowed it down to an area, like they say. But it is funny, isn't it? Because Ashton Forbes here, over on X, he's absolutely certain, that he's convinced that the video of the orbs surrounding the plane and it vanishing is real, okay? And he says this interview is from a while back. I should be famous for solving the MH370, but I'm not, because the world is mostly full of idiots. The United States CIA conducted a covert operation on the plane March 7th, which culminated in the MH370 videos around 6:45 UTC in the Nicobar Islands. The subsequent cover-up was the United States strong-arming Malaysia into what appeared to the public to be an ignorant investigation. In reality, it was a cover-up. MH370 will never be found in South Indian Ocean because it never went there. It's really not complicated. I mean, Ashton Forbes has always claimed that the video is real. Here's the video, guys. Obviously, I've got loads of UAP footage. There's many people out there that have recorded objects like this zipping past planes. So I can't write it off, and Ashton has done a lot of work into trying to prove this is correct. So I'm not going to sit here and say he's wrong. I think look, if there's one thing I've learned from this topic, convincing people that something is real is one of the hardest things you can do, when all reality has ever told us is that we are alone. Okay? I wouldn't say people are idiots, okay? There are some people that question the evidence I put forward, and I don't put them under the idiot category until they ignore all the information. And let's be honest, some people can't even take in the evidence, okay? Not everyone is a physicist, not everyone is an astrophysicist, not everyone is a scientist, biologist, whatever. Not everyone has an ist on the end of their name, okay? Some people are just normal people trying to work this out. So, no, I wouldn't say people are idiots because they don't believe in something, or maybe they haven't done enough research. But I would say it's a bold claim in an area where every single claim is bold, okay? Every single claim is bold. Me saying that Ben Harrison capturing a saucer in Oklahoma and then pulling out 6 videos of the same or very similar object in the sky on different days, okay, that is still a bold claim somehow, because people are still on the fence. People are still like in doubt. Their brain still tells them, nah, it can't be real. We've never seen anything like that before. So this is what's changing, guys. This is what's going to happen this year. People are going to become more aware, and stuff like this will become a possibility in their minds. So look, if they don't find this plane in the ocean now, that means they're really, really stuck, and they really don't know where it is. And that kind of backs up Ashton Forbes' claim, because he's saying they're not going to find it there. If you ask me, it's possible. I think it's possible. We are looking at technology from a non-human intelligence that is far, far greater than anything we know. So I'm not going to write it off, guys, but it's an interesting one. And if somehow they do find the wreckage of this plane, then we've got to look back at the clock. We've got to go back to the drawing board with this clip and try and figure out where it really came from and who supplied it. To me, it looks like it's just, you know, someone observed this happening. Someone out there must know that this happened, if this is real. That's just my opinion on it, guys. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments. We must move on. Update on 3IATLAS for you guys. Okay, breaking: wobble jets have been detected from 3IATLAS based on new Hubble telescope images. On the second image, I've always wondered about the smaller objects that surrounds 3IATLAS that seems to be orbiting it. And this is from Truth Poll, guys. Give them a follow if you haven't already. Let's go through the images. So, look, for astronomers, this may be very clear information to you. If you're not an astronomer, it might just be an interesting look. So this is what we're getting at. I believe this is 3IATLAS here. You can see the multiple jets coming off of this thing. Very, very strange. They seem to be wobbling, guys. Not sure what that means. Definitely this is nothing like any comet that we know about. Obviously, NASA's approach on this is, look, it's an interstellar. It's not from this. It's not from where we are. Okay, it set off its destination long before we were even born. So there's a mystery to this object. Okay, it's acting in ways we don't understand. To be honest, all that tells scientists here really is we know jack shit about the universe. We only know about where we are, and we can't even answer all the questions regarding the space that we have around us. So you can only imagine what they would find out if they could stretch their arms a little bit and get clearer data from even further away. I feel like they'd learn a hell of a lot more and there'd be some shocks to the system. But yeah, amazing stuff. What do we got here? Look at that. And yeah, the anomalies that seem to be orbiting the actual object in question here. Look. What's going on? Is it just debris flying with this thing? Dunno. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments, guys. Wobbling jets, that's a new one. We've got plenty of new anomalies. Avi Loeb is sticking with his guns, by the way. He's still got this on a scale of 4. He's always said it's most likely natural, but he still can't write it off. He can't say with 100% certainty it's a comet. In fact, I don't think anyone can really. They're just guessing based on what they're seeing. Call it an educated guess. But what do we know? Honestly, what do we know? So yeah, interesting stuff. Maybe we're going to learn a little bit more about this object and this anomaly in the future. And I wanted to share this one with you as well. It's posted by ScorpWeb. 3IATLAS was published by Sebastian Voltmer on December 19th. Personally, I don't understand how this could be a comet. Notice its 2 tails. Which comet has an appearance like this in the past? Yeah, look. So yeah, this is a short clip of it, guys. They've put it together. I mean, it's just a ball of light, isn't it, at this point? But let's go over some of the images here. That's pretty cool. Look at that. Spewing out either side of this thing, back and front. Major haze going around this whole thing. That's incredible. Look at that. It's like a massive eagle in the space, isn't it? In the dark sky. It's kind of like, don't know how accurate that would be, but it looks like a pear, doesn't it? Okay, so we're going to end 3IATLAS with a statement from Vladimir Putin. Now, he's got his own opinion on this. In my opinion, guys, I don't think Vladimir would say anything regarding 3IATLAS if he knew it was something other than a comet. I don't think he would announce it anyway, as it's moving away from the Earth and it may not be a current threat. Would he say or would he not say? At least he's answering the questions that he's being asked. That's a plus, right? But is he just telling us porkies? Let me know in the comments.
I have a question about the unusual object 3IATLAS, which is currently approaching us. If the predictions are to be believed, today, December 19th, either a spacecraft with an engine or just a comet will approach Earth. My question is this: what do intelligence services and Roscosmos report to you? Are there really signs of artificial origin? As funny as it may sound, there are indeed many theories and speculations. We, as Timon, the thermal capital of Russia, are ready to welcome any guests. But if they are from space, we would like to prepare. Secondly, is the date of our meeting today related to this forecast, since it's the first time we are summing up on a Friday?
Vladimir Vladimirovich, here they are asking you to wink with your left eye if you know that aliens exist, but it's classified. That's exactly what they write. We would very much like to hear. Wink if you know.
Is your name Christina? I'll tell you, but it must remain exclusively between us. This is classified information. It's our secret weapon, but we will only use it in the most extreme case. Because we are against deploying weapons in space. Seriously though, it's a comet. Our scientists are aware of what is happening. Moreover, This is a comet from another galaxy, so it behaves differently from comets of our galactic origin. It has a different shell, and as it approaches closer to the Sun, slightly different processes occur on its surface, including in the field tail of this rocket. Things look different there. But it's quite large, I think somewhere between 2 to 6 kilometers. Look, the Moon is 400,000 kilometers away from us. And the object you are talking about is hundreds of millions of kilometers away. I don't think it poses any threat to us. We'll send it to Jupiter. And at the beginning of next year, the comet will leave the solar system.
So he jokes around a little bit there and kind of says, yeah, it's ours, you know, we'll use it when we need to, but no, it's a comet. It's portraying some strange things, but it's from outside the solar system, so I accept that it's going to be strange, right? And what Avi doesn't accept, and I guess what a lot of scientists are now starting to question, is physics, because if an object is going straight ahead, 20,000, 30,000, 100,000, 200,000, if it's going straight ahead, you would expect a tail to be behind. It doesn't really matter how big it is. Physics is physics, right? Now you may get the odd rupture of gas coming off one side or something like that, but never just a forward-facing tail. It should always have one coming from behind, right? The wobbly tail, the wobbly anomalies that are going on now, the trajectory, the speed, there's lots of different anomalies. And like I've always said, guys, and I'm going to stick by this, I'm not saying I know what 3IATLAS is, but what I am saying is if anything is flying through space, reconnaissance, research, whatever it is, it's not going to fly with a white flag being waved in the air. It's not going to show itself to existence because there may be prey out there that would prey on it. For any being to say we know what's out there, period, I think would be a massive statement. It would be very hard to get to that point where you knew that exactly what was out in infinite space, right? So no civilization is going to pass through space, in my opinion, without being camouflaged up, okay? And that's what's happening here on Earth. Flying saucers, ET craft, whatever they might be that we're recording in the skies, they seem to be doing it in such a way that we can't really make out what they are in moments. Going in and out of visual, changing shape and size. Whatever it is they're doing, they're making it very difficult for us to notice. And I feel like they would be doing exactly the same in space because, well, why wouldn't they? It would make total sense to be cautious when travelling through an unknown area. That's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Alright, and I did share this one from Skywatch Signal the other day. Really, really interesting. NASA physicist Dr. Yu explains why UFOs spin and why there is always light. Now guys, what have I been saying for the past year and a half? Every time we get something really clear, I always say the same thing. I think it's spinning. I think it's turning. I think it's turning as it's going through the air, like some Twilight Zone stuff, right? Check this out.
This is exactly... See, if I do this when they fall, right?
Right.
So what happens if I'm sorry.
Whoa. What? That's crazy.
This is, yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So what I try to say, so there's basically this gyroscope. So NASA uses a gyroscope to control direction. Whenever you're spinning something, it stabilizes its orientation. You know, one thing about anti-gravity is, if you anti-gravity in this one, you move away. But if you flip this thing, what happens? Because instant gravity pull crashes, right?
Right.
To avoid this happening, you need what? You need to make it a spin. When you spin in the stables, it keep the stable structure.
So even like we would see like a typical saucer shape.
Yes,
but inside of there is some sort of an anti-gravity spinning, potentially spinning technology inside that keeps it stabilized.
Yes, you are mentioning about spinning could be spin, physical spin, right? The whole say outer ring spinning, create what's called a conservation of angular momentum. So physical, and it could happen is called electromagnetic field spinning. It also stabilizes the structure. So that's why anti-gravity it looks like so powerful. But if you're not spinning, what happens is you suddenly turn over. Will be instantaneously disaster. So I believe spinning is one of the mechanisms control this stability. And another thing, I try to give you evidence, right? They always mention about the lights. They always mention the lights. Some kind of lights come out everywhere. So which make me think about it. So the way we can make anti-gravity work, we have to spinning electromagnetic field. When you have a spinning magnetic field, you keep the structure stable and also create anti-gravity effect. And when you spinning, so why does those have to do with the light? When you're spinning a magnetic field, what happens? Create a light.
So that's probably why we're seeing spews of light coming off of these things as they zip through the skies, guys. And it also, we put it down to mimicry. It could just be their technology, or it could be purposely done. Could be a mix of both things. But I tell you what, distinguishing a small object high up in the sky, because that's what it's going to look like on a phone or a camera, right? It's going to look small, and then spewing out a white jet, it's going to look like a wing, isn't it? Let's be honest. But when we manage to zoom in, and this is what I say, if you're confident, guys, zoom in, because if you zoom in, you end up with something like this. And what ends up happening is you get a clear shot, the actual design of the craft. You can see it's turning because the actual design is moving in each frame. So you know the thing is turning. And you can also see the little turrets coming out either side of this object. So really, really important. It's also really important that we take the details of what's flying with these objects as well and make a mental note, because these little tiny white and black objects that are flying high up there, that's them, guys. That's them dimmed down to a smaller size. Maybe they're cloaked, maybe they're going to pop up and become a bigger saucer eventually. Just got to be lucky enough to capture them in the clip, guys. And this is what it's all about, so make sure you keep filming them skies, especially this year. I think this year is our year, and we've got more people doing it, so it's only a matter of time before we capture another piece of gold. Keep that in mind, guys. Thank you very much, Skywatch Signal, for posting that, and physicist Dr. Yu. Guys, I just wanted to touch on this one. Talk TV, they are talking about UAP, UFOs, ever since that last hearing. And now the launch of Disclosure Day coming in June 2026. Not long to go, guys. Honestly, it's going to be an awesome movie. But yeah, it's hit our mainstream. It's only a matter of time before they start talking more and more about it. Now Christmas is out the way, I feel like the pedal is slowly going to get pushed down. And maybe we'll be full throttle by the winter next year. Okay, so flying cars. I mentioned this on the channel a little while back. There was a report on News Nation. We've got another report on News Nation. First commercial flying car in production.
Ultralight is a road legal vehicle and aircraft that will fly above the roadways. And get this, there's room for two inside. It will run for about 200 miles on the ground and just over 100 in the air. The innovative aircraft also has a cruising speed of 110 miles per hour while in flight. Although attainable for some, the flying car will set you back about $300K. Let's bring in Jim Duchovny, the CEO of Aleph, to talk about this out-of-this-world machine. I have to ask you, first of all, you sit there and we talk about the flying car. I have to believe you're excited to talk about it, but I have to believe that also, Jim, you have a lot of friends who sit back and look at you like, Jim, are you serious?
Thanks, Nick. Happy New Year. So yes, you're right. We have a lot of people asking that question, are you serious? And it's basically because people think that the video, one of the video, actually latest video you just showed is AI. In fact, it's not. It's actually the real video of the car flying. I have only one way to convince people: when we actually bring them and do the live demo when something flies in front of your eyes. We did it with several news stations, with NBC, with Associated Press. So hopefully that somehow convinces people that it's real. We already started operating in 2 airports in Bay Area, so some people can already see it. So as we're getting it closer to the public, that answers the question, is it real?
Jim, I'm telling you right now, on behalf of everyone here at News Nation, I expect an invite, because we will be there also to cover it with the other media outlets when this takes off and you're ready to demonstrate it. Are we clear, Jim?
Thanks, Nick. You guys always been good to us, so you're welcome to come to Silicon Valley. We can arrange something.
Jim, that sounds like a plan.
That's pretty incredible, right? We've gone from, you know, the Jetsons to reality. Two-seater flying car. Overpriced, I think. 110 miles an hour max in the air, which is pretty cool. But apparently in the air it can only do 100 miles. So you'll be flying for about 50 minutes before you've got to settle down and charge it, I guess. Not too sure. Yeah, 100% electric. So, guys, that's pretty fascinating. 300 grand. If you've got 300 grand spare, you can get a flying car. You can only go 100 miles at a time. Is that going to be quicker? I don't know. It's going to be more convenient. But, you know, taking stoppages and charging into account, would it be quicker just to drive on the road? Does 200 miles an hour on the road as well, so you could go on the road and then up a bit. What am I saying? It's a flying flipping car, right? We'll keep you up to date with how this all pans out. Whether there's going to be traffic lights up in the sky or not, who knows, guys? Only time will tell. All right, guys, so this is probably one of the most disturbing videos I've ever watched. I'm not going to share the link. Honestly, there's just too much horror going on here. You can see the date, 7th of October, 2023. You know where it was. This was the Hamas attack on Israeli residents. Really, really disturbing, guys, honestly. The reason why I wanted to go over this is because a certain thing happens in a couple of clips that I really don't understand. This is one of them. So, guys, this guy is firing a gun. Okay, and this is ammunition you're seeing popping off here. But what I found really disturbing is if you go back to the start of the clip, and I just don't get this at all. You see here, there's a white dot, like a white round circle. You think this is just either a camera anomaly or a cloud, right? Why is that suddenly just moved? You see, and another one turns up here and stops and then goes. There's something else going on in this clip, guys. Really, really strange. Just the movement of it. Look, really odd. I've never seen a camera anomaly like that. I have seen objects coming in and out of the clouds looking like that, though. And that's where I found it really, really interesting. Very, very strange anomaly, guys. Very strange. Anyway, moving on to where Michelle said that she saw something very odd. What the hell would that be? It doesn't look like it's attached to the line. It looks like it's above the line. But what is it? They wouldn't have a balloon up there. I mean, that's quite large. Do you think that's a... Do you think that's a balloon that was just up there whilst this was going on? I mean, look at that. It's flipping mental, just carrying a rocket launcher around. What is that thing? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. It is crazy stuff. Honestly, it is crazy stuff. Again, please don't ask me for the link in the comments. I just simply will not show you it. It's disgusting. So yeah, and I don't want to start the new year off by showing you something that horrific, guys. So it is what it is, but thanks very much, Shell, for sending that in to me. Very interesting. So guys, yes, if you are in the UK, please wrap up warm tonight. Get what you need. Do not be out by tomorrow because it's just going to be horrific out there. The roads are going to be dangerous. Pavements are going to be slippery, so go easy if you do have to go out. But guys, thank you so much for all your time. Keep the cameras in the sky. Get your evidence into me, undercoveretuk@gmail.com. Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you so much. Take care. All the best. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye for now.